I understand that in addition to all the work you're doing at ATC and, of course, up at Parabellum in Oakville, great school there, you've also been working with a kickboxing legend in preparation for February 15th.
Yeah, this is true. I've been going to see Maz Nawaz, 6-time world champion kickboxer, and he's Team Canada kickboxing coach. I'm seeing him twice a week. He's helping me with strategy, mental preparation, and also just working with him, giving me some new moves to light up Trinaldo with.
And you're a guy that is known for his kickboxing anyway, and those who have followed your career for a while still talk about the multiple head kicks you landed on Ryan Healy, the consecutive head kicks. I mean, you're a guy that's got a great kickboxing game to begin with. How much better is it being working with Nizal?
Everything's improving every day, and working with him, I'm that much sharper. My boxing is so crisp right now, and not to mention my kickboxing is on point. It's better than it's ever been. Like I said, it's always getting better, but now it's better than it's ever been.
That just sounds scary to me, dude. How big a difference, you talked about mental preparation, how big of a difference is it mentally fighting in Brazil this time around? I mean, last time you're the hometown kid who everyone wanted to see win. Down there, you're definitely going to get a little more of a hostile response.
That's okay with me. I've done that before. I've gone into hostile territory for title fights and won. I've been a lot of places. I thrive in the bad guy role. All the pressure's on him. You know, he's coming off a loss too. It's in his backyard. And the thing is, every time I've lost, there's a weird ass kind of beastly animal that comes out, and I just wreck my opponent. And he's going to have to deal with that, along with all the pressure in his hometown.
Mm-hmm. And other than Nick Lentz, North Americans haven't had a lot of success fighting for the UFC in Brazil. Does that play in your mind at all?
No, that doesn't bother me one bit.
No,
We're
just
gonna have more success when I get there.
Yeah, just another trail to blaze. Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But are you concerned about if the fight goes to the judges? I mean, fighting a guy in his backyard, there is a chance that the Brazilian judges will see it in the favor of their guy.
Not with how bad I'm going to whoop his ass.
So I guess the key there is not letting it go that far, right?
No, I'm bringing it. There's one thing I watch 25-minute title fights, or even guys aren't even breathing hard because they're playing it as a game. To me, this is a fight, and I'm going to give it all I can until he stops or a ref pulls me away. So there's no way, with as good a shape that I'm in, that it can go 15 minutes without him breaking before that.
And Trinaldo's known mainly as a kickboxer as opposed to Brazeris, who is more of a grappler. Do you think that plays more into your wheelhouse?
It does. He's going to be willing to stand and bang, but I think the only footage that he's going to have of me is my first UFC fight, and you'll see how stupid I was with my takedown defense and everything else. I bet he'll try and take me down, but I've been working with Rory McDonald at Parabellum Jiu-Jitsu, and I've also been working with Rowan Cunningham, and I'm getting pretty sharp on the ground. So if he does that, it's not going to go well for him because I know that's not his area of expertise. And as for Brazeris, who was a black belt, and that's what his strength was, he couldn't tap me out. I'm pretty sure Trinaldo is not going to have a hope in hell. So if he takes me down, that's just going to be stupid for him, and it's going to wear on his gas tank. So his best bet is to try and keep it standing so I can just punch him in the face and kick him wherever I want to.
It sounds like it's going to be a very exciting fight. And you mentioned Rory McDonald. Rory, of course, just a grappling wizard. I think I asked this last time around, but I'm going to ask it again. Has he taught you the club sandwich yet?
He has not taught me the club sandwich. He's taught me various other sequence of moves. The one move it's a series. It's you can either go for a calf slicer, a twister, or something he calls the wheelchair. And I've never seen the wheelchair or heard of it before, but I like it, and if I can get there, I plan on going for it. As for the club sandwich, that's just a mixture of things that he can do. I'm not as flexible as he is, so I don't think I'll ever be able to pull that off. But I know how he does it. He hasn't exactly gone out of his way to show me, but he's showing me all this other cool stuff that's going to work for me.
Nice. All right, going back to Trinaldo, he's got that big left hand. Obviously, you have to look out for that. But in watching him, do you see any holes in his game that do you think he can exploit?
Yeah. He very rarely ever uses his lead hand, and he never ever throws leg kicks. He only throws power kicks and power overhands, except for when he fights lefties. He actually uses an uppercut, and he'll actually throw a couple of jabs in there. His hands are all over the place, just giving me more surface area to hit because he's not defending himself in one way by protecting himself with his hands. there's just so many different ways to beat Prezeris. There's so much going on, Trinaldo going through my head right now. He's just a wild fighter. A lot of people respect his power, so they don't ever take advantage of the fact that he's not covering up. And his timings, he always loads up for it. There's always that opening to counter on him, and I plan on exploiting it.
And it's a cliche, but I have to ask it, how does the fight end?
It ends by me knocking him out, or me knocking him silly to the point where he can't defend himself anymore, and then I'll break something off, whether it be his arm or his leg, or he's tapping at something.
Now that is something worth waiting for.